Okay, so we saved Blossom City,
Operation 003.
and yes, it's time for Operation 003, Stratospheric Airport. Although we're not really going to be spending a whole lot of time in the airport.
Thanks to your efforts, we've regained complete control of the Sentinel comm network, and strategic data is coming back online. We are now able to assess the invaders' tactical capabilities in detail, and track their movements across the entire planet. Alice, is your analysis complete?
Displaying strategic information now. I'm showing a massive enemy fleet in sector SK6108. They're headed for Stratoport at high speed.
Stratoport? No, it can't be.
Alice, plot a course for Stratoport immediately. Maximum speed.
Roger.
Nelson, bro? I don't suppose you could give us, like, the dumbed-down version of what's up? I mean, I'm down, but some of these guys aren't the sharpest swords in the rack.
Indeed, I second this notion. Certain wonderful ones may not be so wonderful in grasping the peril at hand.
The majority of the Geathjerk invasion force is still held at bay by our hyper-plasma shield Margarita, which is powered by super reactors positioned at 5 strategic locations across the planet. They've been carefully camouflaged to prevent the jerks from discerning their locations. But despite our efforts, the enemy is moving in to strike one of the reactors as we speak.
Dude, this is bad. I mean, I knew it was bad all along, but hearing it all spelled out really brings it home.
Oui, each time I hear it, my hairs stand on end.
You don't think they've hacked the main Mother Platinum system, do you?
No, there's no sign Mother Platinum has been compromised.
Maybe this glorified smartphone leaked the information? Peace
Without Margarita, Earth would already be lost. It was the brainchild of a brilliant young scientist, and without her sacrifice, it would never have been completed. We'll defend it with our lives. We owe her legacy that much.
Huh?
We've reached the target coordinates, decelerating to impulse speed. Tachyon radar shows a formation of stratospheric shuttles. I'm getting an encoded SOS from the group. Long-range camera feed on screen.
They're under attack!
Those jerks. We can't lose those shuttles. Wonderful 100, you need to get in there and save those shuttles. Virgin Victory will handle any enemy air power.
Roger! Team, fall in!
Roger!
So, here we go. I have to say, I'm not a particular fan of Operation 003. Partly because it's got the introduction of an enemy type that I completely and utterly despise, as I'm sure do the majority of people who play the Wonderful 101 with any sort of regular thing. You will see them shortly. But also, 003 does suffer from very similar issues to what the game suffers from elsewhere, in that it sometimes doesn't tell you what you need to do when it really should do. Point the main bit out when that happens, but until then. So, I am going to probably be running around like a complete and utter weirdo for quite a bit. Because there is a Kakurega that is right at the start of the level, just not right here at the start of the level. There's also a wonderful one hidden right by that Kakurega, but yeah, I'm going to point out now that I'm going to be missing a lot of wonderful ones in this operation. I tried looking, I failed miserably. If anything, this operation as a whole is the one that is going to have the most stuff missing from it, because it's just really difficult to see what's going on and find stuff. Oh god, Luca.
Luca? You're supposed to be in sickbay.
Huh? How do you know my name?
Cause that's what the other kids at school call you?
You all patched up, sweetie? I was nothing, just a scratch. Hey, you guys are gonna go fight those aliens, right? I know you can't do it alone. I'll go with you.
Sorry, little dude. Ankle biters and firefights don't mix.
What? I know I can do this. I know I can. Take me with you.
No means no. N-O. No way. Better run home to Mama now, kid.
How am I supposed to get home, huh? Flap my arms and fly? Besides, my mom and dad are gone.
Oh, snap.
Look, there's no time to argue. Luca's coming with us.
Dude.
Electroplate him with a tiny wonder mask. An extra tiny one. Everyone else, cover Luca.
And so, we get Luca as a temporary member. Can only end well.
Like me now.
Team, let's move!
Roger.
Either way, as I was saying, even despite my best efforts, I'm going to be missing a lot of extras from this operation. But don't worry, we will be going back and getting them. You will see them, and I will point them out as we go along, because I missed them, but yeah, it will make sense. Now, I believe that there may be a hero heart in that room. Just draw a Wonderliner down, I think, maybe. Not 100% sure, but there's certainly a hero heart somewhere in here that I'm missing. Also, here's the Kakurega. If you want to get Wonder Prince, I believe it is, he's just hidden behind that tail/wing fin bit on the thing. It's just like, seriously guys, how was I meant to find him? Really? Either way, we have two bloody Geathjerks to deal with. Because that's always fun. Obviously, they really aren't as difficult to deal with as they could otherwise be. And I'm particularly grateful that I think that Geathjerk over there got glitched. So he just decided he was going to stick in the same position for the majority of the fight. Makes my job a hell of a lot easier. Especially when, obviously, you've got limited health. Well, I don't know why I've only got 3 instead of 5. But there we go. Now what you are going to want to do is make sure that they get destroyed, because otherwise the Geathjerk is going to respawn. But I think that went rather well. A pure platinum is always welcome. Especially in this game, because, my word, you're going to need it if you're not going to do well at the other areas. So, yeah. We're going to miss Wonder Prince, unfortunately. Don't worry, we will pick him up again later. Just not right now. Also, I'm pretty sure that there are some things that you can get on this path. But you can't get them right now because you need a Unite Morph that you get midway through this operation. Which is always nice when that happens, isn't it? But here we have an N-Van. These guys are evil. not the worst you could face, but certainly not the best either. Oh look, lots of Dogus and Chudagus. Now, as I was saying when I bought Wonder Tombstone, basically the best way of making use of it is kind of, if you get someone in a Wonder Rising combo, then if you kind of end it with Wonder Tombstone, then you get an extra attack in for what it's worth. And obviously, getting extra attacks in is always helpful because it kills things quicker. Also, it does like a little shockwave, so you can kind of hurt enemies on the ground, which is also really helpful. Also, this is probably the operation where Speed Charge is going to be at its most useful, because you need to do a lot of Unite Morphs, and the best and quickest way to get them is with the Speed Charge, because you get things back quicker. The one thing that I will say is great about this level is that you don't generally get a whole lot of levels kind of on the outside of planes. It's a surprising rarity, which I'm rather bemused by. I mean, obviously there is a plane level in Bayonetta, which is a pretty awesome level, I'll give it that. Particularly because of the boss fight with Jean that you have. I just love that fight. It's great. Now, what you saw right there was something that happens when your combo thing is high enough. So I think once it gets past times 2.5-ish, you can be rather awesome, and you get an elemental flare on your weapon. So the sword gets the electricity, United Fist gets the fire, and that happens automatically.
This is a trifling bit uncomfortable in here.
I probably should have let him talk a little bit longer, but either way, we've got a little friend here.
Jiminy Christmas. Don't you kids know how to save an old man proper like?
Sorry, mister.
Oh, it's you.
Professor, my dear Professor, it has been so long. Eccentric as always, I see.
Now get.
Professor, what are you doing aboard the shuttle?
Why you always asking questions you already got answers for? Them jerks are after the super reactor in the Stratoport. I was just taking some of my creations over to protect the reactor.
Why is it always protect and defend? Why can't we just take the fight to them? Just cut some bigwig alien's head off and say, see you later, bye-bye. Come on.
Ah, Blue, I advise restraint. The geezer, he does not take well to critique.
Who you calling geezer, Baguette? Anyhow, if you could hold your horses for the 24 hours we need to keep that reactor going, then we can bring them all the tarnation you want.
Dude, that a promise?
I'll fill you in on the details once you've completed your mission. Now, my stuff's in the cargo bay of shuttle number 1. Y'all need to grab it and get it into the Stratoport. That shuttle goes down, and our gooses is cooked.
Roger. Team, let's move!
Roger!
So, James Shirogane, rather reasonably important character in the game. He's voiced, as well as Chugi, by Fred Tatasciore, who, obviously, I discussed when we met Chugi. What I didn't know at that time was that well, I did know, but the other game that Fred Tatasciore has been in by Platinum Games was Anarchy Reigns, and he was in it as the newscaster. Don't remember that role very well, but oh well, he is in it. Shirogane is pretty awesome because his hair naturally forms a question mark, and then it turns into an exclamation mark, which is just pretty awesome. Also, his surname. As you may have noticed, there have been the odd little things that reference Platinum. So we had Mother Platinum, and you've probably noticed Platinum Games' logo around frequently. Well, James Shirogane's name is a massive reference to Platinum. Because Shirogane, it literally translates as white coin, but mostly it just means platinum. So, as we're going to find out, I believe at the start of the next operation, Shirogane's name is associated with something else of great importance, which we will meet by then. Also, why do you have to keep throwing 2 hoedowns at me at the same time, game? Why? Why must you make me suffer? Now, having just met Professor Shirogane, we are going to be meeting another new character in not very much time at all, really. Just got to finish this mission, and then we've got another mission, and pretty much that will be it. We will meet our next character. Now, it's time for another. Richie's going to miss another wonderful one. So, I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of try and get some stuff back in the room that we were just through. But I'm not going to get everything, I believe. So, in the corridor that we are about to go into, there is another wonderful one. Wonder Movie, I believe it is. And basically, he's just hanging around with people. And I honestly do not know how I missed him. I think it was because I was just like, ah! Well, you'll find out why I was like, ah! Because that's evidently the reaction that I need to be giving to these sort of things. It's just like, you must think I'm absolutely balmy right now. But in this flame corridor, basically there is a point where you can draw a wonder line up the side of a crate, and you can get onto a higher platform which has got some goodies on it which you are going to want. Also, this is why I went, ah! There is poison gas in this corridor.
Even your sentinel suits won't last long against the gas.
Roger. Team, let's move.
Roger.
Now, you really have a ridiculous amount of time for how long it takes you to get through this. So really, really, really seriously make sure that you do pick up all of the civilians whilst you're here, because Wonder Movie is in here. And, don't go to the end of the corridor until then, because you're going to get thrown into a cutscene very, very quickly. And this is very important.
Where am I?
There, look what the cat dragged in.
Ah, you are all so late. This time I have been waiting.
You're the late one, comrade. Where the heck have you been?
Commander Nelson orders me to be bodyguard for Professor following invasion. I fight alone. Many battles waiting for you.
Commander Nelson ordered you here? Amazing. He anticipated the enemy's movements perfectly.
But soon after I get here, I get lost. Then I find myself wandering. Alone. It is very lonely up above ceiling.
Yeah, what happened to guarding the professor?
Well, don't you be looking at me. I hadn't the foggiest notion old Yeller was even on board.
Also, on the way to airport to come here, I get lost. I almost miss plane, but then I board plane. Barely.
Whatever happened, happened. Right now we need your help, Mr. Ivan Eschennikov, a.k.a. the Hammering Russkie, Special Combat Agent, Siberia Field Office, Sentinel's Planetary Secret Service, Wonder Yellow!
It is my honor to serve, Capitan. My life is not even worthy of being yours. But it is yours. My life. So embarrassed.
Less conversation, more action, comrade.
Indeed. Here goes nothing. Wanderize Yellow!
Ah, good old Wonder Yellow. Always fun. So, Yellow has the ability of Unite Hammer, which is the most complicated shape you're going to be drawing up until the next operation. Basically, it's ultra powerful but very, very slow. As you would expect from something called a hammer. Now, one thing that I don't think gets, well, probably has never been brought up, is that his weapon is called the Peter hammer, which I have to say is, I would suspect, a massive reference to the Pico hammer from Sonic, because it looks very similar as well. Either way, Wonder Yellow is voiced by J.B. Blanc, who has been in a variety of things. You will probably recognise him as Boris in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Also, if you have watched anything with Klonoa, he is the voice of Garnius and Soleil. He's also Sasori Hiruko in Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 3 and Naruto Ultimate Ninja 4 and 5. He's in the others as well, but still. He's Victor in Killer is Dead. Diablo in Diablo 3. He is Alighiero in Dante's Inferno. Obviously, so he's voicing Dante, basically. Because Dante's full name is Dante Alighieri. Yeah, pretty much. He's also Bane in Batman Arkham Origins. And here we get probably the most detested enemy in the entirety of the Wonderful 101. At least they're my most detested enemy. I can't stand these guys. They are Megangs. And... So as you probably guessed by the steel covering their entire bodies, they cannot be hurt by regular Unite morphs. No, you need to use Unite Hammer almost exclusively to defeat these buggers. Thankfully, there are ways of defeating them to make this easier. Most notably, Unite Guts when they lift their foot up and try to stamp you, because then that will lift them onto their side, and then you can punch them and then they'll fall on their back, and then you can hit the juicy innards with any Unite morph you like. However, they're very, very hard to read. I really do dislike these enemies. They're probably the least fair of the batch, especially if you are forced to go up against two of them in an enclosed space. If you think this is enclosed, you ain't seen nothing yet. But also, this is the point where having speed charge would have been helpful, because taking these guys down can take forever if you don't use rather big Unite morphs. Because the bigger the Unite morph, the more damage you do, so the quicker you can get the armor off of these guys, the better off you're going to be. It's also frustrating that sometimes hammer can get confused for whip, but that is generally always, if you aren't drawing your shapes properly, then that's the way it's going to go down, really. These guys also get a lot easier when you have Wonderizing with Unite Hammer, because kind of you can get multiple hits in rather than just having the one swing down move. Either way, there's not a whole lot you can do about it right now. Yeah, another thing you've probably noticed is that the operations are getting a bit lengthy now, and this is going to continue. Operation 003B is shorter than pretty much all of the other operations, but otherwise they get pretty long. Also, that bottle cap, Junior Stomper, was for unlocking a hidden item underground, which you basically have to hit things with Wonder Hammer, and you will get items out of them. There's quite a lot hidden throughout the game, and there's 3 bottle caps associated with it. There's Junior Stomper, Full-Fledged Stomper, Master Stomper, I believe. And trust me, getting Master Stomper is ridiculous, because you've got to hit every single spot on a single difficulty, but it does include all Kaku Radars. So, yeah, it's a pain. Either way, that fight is done. We can move on. Yes!